Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm going to be hopping on and off of TikTok throughout September because September is Suicide Awareness Month and it's something that I have experience with, something that I personally struggle with throughout my years, and it's something that I certainly want to advocate for because not many people want to talk about it because it's one of those taboo topics. At any rate, my TikTok is WhimsyCoNC. If you want to check it out over there on TikTok and give me a like if you like it. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about outlets for people who struggle with the demons inside of them that are constantly chattering in their head about you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're ugly, you're fat, you have no friends. The list can go on and on. So my big outlet when I was young was music. And I call it a rage. When I get into a rage, I have to listen to music that will curb that rage. And though I am a Christian, and the music that I listen to is not biblical at all, maybe it's the beat, it's not necessarily the words or the lyrics to any of the songs, but when I was young, it was a Twisted Sister's Stay Hungry album. Once I listened to that entire album, I was so much more calm. I could get back into a groove. And I'm sure there are albums or songs or something that other people have the same experience with. So music is a great healer. I also play the piano by ear, and I do play the guitar. I dabble with it in spurts throughout the years. I can't play the guitar around a campfire. I can't play for anybody to sing. I can just pick out songs by ear. I can't read music for guitar. I can't read music for the piano either, really, like normal people. I can read a treble clef, but I can't read the bass clef. So I look for guitar chords at the top and I make up my left hand. Enough said. But when I play the piano, you can tell, as I could tell my mother, what mood you're in. Because if you're playing light and fluffy songs, you're in a good mood. If you're playing dark and heavy songs, you're working through something. And I could always tell with my mom when she was having a good or a bad day when she played the piano. And looking back, she didn't play the piano that often. Looking back, I thought she played it quite a bit. But if you're a piano player or you grew up playing it, any instrument, and you loved it, you played it every day. And I love piano and I play it every day. I've written my own songs, with words, without words. In times of trouble, it has helped me out. Certainly, being able to play an instrument is a big deal when you're dealing with depression, when you're dealing with those thoughts that you no longer want to be on this earth, but you have an outlet in music. You have an outlet either playing it or listening to it. And some people out there might not have an outlet in music. They might not even care so much about music, which is hard for the music world to understand. They might find comfort in a video or a movie that they can watch over and over again. And certainly that is a thing with me as well. I have watched Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley uncounted times, and I can safely say I have watched that movie well over 100 times. Well over 100 times. I have the soundtrack because the soundtrack is beautiful, and I can play that as background music. Now, it doesn't help me mentally get through anything like the Twisted Sister album did, but I know all the words. You know, there's things in movies that you don't really see because it goes by so quick, but I see the little ins and outs of the movie and I love it. It's just a nice, nice movie. And when the world is crazy, we do need some kind of nice, nice things because the world is crazy. And we have to find something within ourselves to get through all this junk we're hearing on the outside. So if you're dealing with these demons, and I'm not saying it's just in September, we're dealing all year round with demons. And we have to be able to cope with that because not everybody's going to be on the phone when we need to talk. I remember a couple years ago when I had heard that my uncle had taken his own life. I went through a really bad spell then, and I called the hotline only for it to be put on hold and then disconnected. And I called again, same thing. Again, same thing. Why do we have a hotline? Why do we advertise a hotline if nobody's there to take these calls for people who are desperate? And I decided, you know, I had a couple friends say, well, if you ever need anything, call me. If you're ever that way, call me. Don't ever promise you'll be there if you're not going to be there. Because I called these friends, not just one that day, I called several, and they were all busy. Only one answered. And she said, well, I'm working right now. Can I call you back? Sure. Well, that could have been my fault too, because maybe, and this is smart, maybe I should have set up a word or a phrase so that when I call people and I need to talk or vent or just have some warm body on the other side of the phone, they will be able to understand what state I'm in. So if I have, you know, like a safe word, safe word. I don't know, maybe if I say grape jelly, I don't know, they'll know exactly what I mean. So grape jelly means that I'm really bad off and I need to talk to you and you were really the last resort, because that's what it is. When you call people for help, it is honestly probably your last resort. So you need that word. So discuss it with them when you're in a good headspace ahead of time. For these people that say they want to help you, say, okay, when I need help, I'm going to say pink elephant. And you're going to know it's bad. But I'm not going to say pink elephant unless it is that bad that I can't handle it. Anything else, I'll just accept. Okay, you're busy. Call me later. And please make sure you follow through and call later, because these people go through hours of this tragic horror in their brains, trying to overcome all this stuff from the past, from the present. And it's so hard to navigate through when you're by yourself and you have no one else who actually understands you. It is really hard to talk to people who don't understand. I was a cutter. I was a cutter before people knew what a cutter was. And nobody understood what a cutter was. Well, why are you doing that? Why? Well, for those of you who know and who have done, you understand why, okay? That is the point where you feel that you have control enough to get rid of some pain. And that's what you do. At least that was my reasoning. But some people just, they don't get it. They don't understand. So when you find people who understand and you start having a conversation and you say, look, when I'm, can I call you if I need something? These are the people that understand and know. Yes, set up that safe word. Yes, tell them, you might need them on and off. I went to a psychiatrist one time who had all the things on the wall, all the things, had everything framed, went to this school, that school, accolades, whatever, valedictorian, salutatorian, whatever, all this stuff. And it was a guy, and I don't want to talk to a guy. I'm sorry. I'm a female. Females have separate problems from males. I want to talk to a female. But no, he said he was qualified. All his little stuff on the wall behind him. And I read every single thing, and I'm just like, psh. I looked at him and I said, have you ever been through depression? He said, no. I said, have you ever been through wanting to off yourself? No. I said, then you don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to talk to you anymore. He said, look, I went to school for it. I'm qualified. I understand it. I said, no, you don't understand it. You've never been through it, and I don't want to talk to you. And he argued with me for an hour until I finally walked out. I'm not going to pay somebody to listen to me who has never gone through it, has no idea what I'm talking about. And that's what I mean. You need to find somebody that knows you well enough to talk to and to go to when you need help. Music is great. Music is great. If you're by yourself and you can't get to anybody, music is your friend. So I just wanted to hop on and talk to you again today about options, helps, ideas for the people that struggle with this. There are other people out there that care so, so deeply for you, and they want you here forever. And they can't think of anything worse than you not being on this earth. So I come on here as a person who struggles with it. Not anybody that has any type of accolades, has gone to school with it. I am not a doctor. I have been to school for adolescent psychology. Did not graduate. Life came, had babies. That was more important in my life. But from somebody who knows, somebody who knows, I've been there, I've done that, I have written a book, but not about that yet. And I know what you're going through. I know what you're going through. I understand the process. So find somebody else in your life, your immediate life, that you can talk to about all of these things. And I just want to remind you, never, ever, ever stop learning about anything, so that you can advance your life, so you can be a better person. I will see you in the next one. Bye now.